Well, welcome back to RamZland. So good that you guys were able to join us today. Today's meeting is to review the metric system. And if you remember, the metric system has three primary units of measurement. You have, of course, the gram, and the gram is used to measure mass. You have the liter, which is used to measure liquid, and you have the meter, which is used to measure length. So this conversion chart is something that I definitely want you to become familiar with. So in your basic units right here in the middle, I want you to think here's a meter. It could be a liter, or it can be a gram. So again, gram is mass, like how much something weighs, how much space it takes up. Liter is liquid, and a meter is for length. Okay, now everything to the left is going to be a multiple of that basic unit. So a decameter or a decaliter or a decagram is just 10. A hecto is 100, kilo is 1,000, okay? So these are getting larger over here. You can see right here to a larger unit, you move the decimal point this way. And then over here, deci is 1/10 of that basic unit. So it takes 10 decimeters to equal a meter, or 10 deciliters to equal a liter, or 10 decigrams to equal 1 gram. So this is 0.1 or 1/10 if you're using fractions, okay? And this would be like 1. Centa, so centa is 1/100th, 0.01. So if I wrote it as a fraction, this is 1 over 100. And then milli is really small. This would be like 1 over 1,000, okay? So kilo is 1,000, milli is 1/1,000th, okay? So when you use this chart, when you're converting from one unit to another, always remember it's multiples of 10. So it's just an issue of which way you're moving the decimal. So if I looked at milligrams to grams, remember milli is really small, okay? So if I'm over here at 1/1,000th milligrams, then I have to move my decimal one space to centa, this is 1/100th, one space to deci, this is 1/10th, to a gram. So if I'm right here, here's my decimal, I have to move it once, twice, 3 times, because I'm going in this direction until I get to 1 gram, okay? So 1,000 milligrams would just be 1 gram, okay? So here's liter. Again, this is a unit of 1. But now I'm moving my decimal this way, okay? So if I have 1 liter and I want to go to milliliters, then this would be for deci, this would be 0.1, this would be 0.01, this would be 0.001. So I would have 0.001 milliliters because it's very, very small. Or would I move it this way from milli to liter? Would it be 1,000? It would be 1,000 because milliliters are really small. You have 1,000 milliliters in a liter. So I'm going from here and I'm going all the way over here. So when you use this chart, make sure you're thinking about which way you're going, okay? So if I have centimeters to millimeters, here's centa on my chart. Let me go back and get my pen working. There we go. Okay. So on my chart, here's 1. This is a meter. Here's a decimeter. Here's a centimeter. Here's a millimeter. So if I'm over here at 160, I'm going to move my decimal one more space from here, one more space over because I'm going to milli. So this is centa, this is deci. I'm going one more space. So I would add a 0 to this from there to there. Okay, so if I'm going from kilo to meter, look over here at kilometers. Kilometers is 1,000 of this basic unit. So if I'm over here, I've got to move my decimal 3 spaces in this direction. So if I'm on my chart over here and here's kilo, then I have hectometers, then I have decameters. And then over here is meters. I've got to go once, twice, 3 spaces with my decimal. So if I have 14 here, and this is my decimal, I've got to go once, twice, 3 spaces till I get to meter. And I'm going to put zeros here. And this is going to become a comma. So this is 14,000 meters are in 14 kilometers. So if you just pay attention to which way you're moving that decimal, it's really easy to convert in the metric system. So here I've got kilograms. So kilograms are really big. So here's my chart. Here's a gram, okay? Here's a decagram and a hectogram. And here's my kilogram, okay? So I know I need 1,000 grams to equal 1 kilogram. And this, here's my decimal, and I'm going this direction. Once, twice, 3 times. So I'm going to move this decimal once, twice, 3 times. And now the decimal is going to be here. This would be 0.109 kilograms, because I know 109 grams is a lot less than 1,000, right? I need 1,000 grams to equal a kilogram. Let's look at meters to kilometers. So again, this is going to be like the last one. Here's my unit of 1. Here's a meter. Here's a decameter. Here's a hectometer. And finally, here's my kilometer, okay? So if I'm starting right here, look which way I'm moving the decimal. I'm moving the decimal this way. Once, twice, 3 times, 3 steps. So if my decimal's right here for 250 meters, I've got to move it once, 2, 3 times. Now my decimal is going to be right here for 0.25 kilometers. All right, let's look at inequalities here. So if I have 56 centimeters, is that less than, greater than, or equal to 6 meters? Well, I'd have to convert. So what if I had both of them in centimeters? I know it takes 100 centimeters to equal 1 meter. So 6 meters would be the same as 600 centimeters. Now I can see really easily that 6 meters is a lot more than 56 centimeters. So I would say 6 meters is greater than 56 centimeters. Over here is similar. I've got 698 milligrams. That looks like a big number. But I know it takes 1,000 milligrams to equal 1 gram. And over here, I have 7 grams. So that's the same as 7,000 milligrams. So 7,000 is a lot more than 698. So I would say 7 grams is greater. Let's look at a few more examples here. Here we just have the abbreviation for each metric unit. And so I know a kilogram is kg. A meter is just m. A gram is G. Milliliter is ML, like that. Millimeter is MM. Liter is L. A kilometer is km. And a centimeter is cm. Of course, a milligram would be mg. Let's take a look at some of these conversions. So I have 2,000 milligrams. How many grams is that? Well, that would just be 2. Because we know that there are 1,000 milligrams in a gram. If I have 5 liters, how many milliliters is that? So a milliliter is really small. It's 1/1000th. So this would be 5,000 milliliters. So if I have 16 centimeters, how many millimeters is that? This is where you're moving the decimal 1 space to the right, this way. So I know here is here's a meter. Here's a decimeter. Here's a centimeter. Finally, here's a millimeter. So if I'm right here on centimeter, I'm moving my decimal to the right 1 step. So this would be 160 millimeters. Over here, I've got 104 kilometers to a meter. So I know kilometers are really big. So if I have my conversion chart here, here's a meter. Here's a decameter, here's a hectometer, and then over here is a kilometer. So I'm moving my decimal place this way to the right. So if I'm right here at 104, I've got to move my decimal once, twice, 3 times to get it to a meter. So here's my decimal now. I'm going to put 3 zeros after that. So this becomes 104,000 meters. Here I've got 198 grams, and I want to change that to kilograms. So I know that a gram is 1/1000th of a kilogram. Kilograms are really big. So here's my chart. Here's a gram. Here's, again, decagram, hectogram, and here's kilogram. So I'm right here with my decimal, and I'm moving my decimal to the left 3 steps, once, twice, 3 times. So this becomes 0.198 kilograms. For number 12, I've got 2,500 meters, and I know I need 1,000 meters to equal 1 kilometer. So I'm going to move my decimal place 3 steps. 1, 2, 3 steps, and this just becomes 2.5 kilometers. Let's take a look at centimeters to a meter. I know that a centimeter is 1/100th of a meter. So I've got to move my decimal 2 steps to the left. This becomes 4.8 meters. 75 milliliters to liters. So again, let's look at our chart. Here's a liter, okay? This is really small. So here's a deciliter, here's a centiliter, and here's a milliliter. So I'm over here at 75 milliliters, and I need to move it once, twice, 3 times my decimal, and I'm moving it this direction. So here's my decimal for 75 milliliters. I'm going to go once, twice. What do I have to do right here? I have to add a 0 as a placeholder. So this would be 0.075 liters, because a milliliter is really small. Now I'm going to go grams to milligrams. So now I'm going to move my decimal the other way. So here's a gram, here's a decigram, a centigram, and now I'm finally over here at milligram. So I'm right here. I'm going to go this way 3 steps. Once, twice. So here's my decimal right now. I'm going to add 3 zeros at the end of that as a placeholder. So this becomes 65,000 milligrams, or in 65 grams. Let's look over here. So I've got a kilogram. Now, a kilogram's really big. That's going to be at the left of our conversion chart. So here's a gram. Then I have a decagram. And then I have a hectogram. And then I finally have a kilogram. So I'm over here at kilograms, 5.6. So I have to go 1, 2, 3 steps with my decimal to the right. So here's 5.6. I'm going to go once, twice, 3 times. And what I'm going to put here, I'm going to put zeros as a placeholder here. This period, right, this decimal point is going to become a comma. So now I have 5,600 grams. I'm going to go centimeters to meters. Now I know that there are 100 centimeters in a meter. So here's a meter. Here's a decimeter. Here's a centimeter. So I'm right here. And I want to go to a meter. So that means I'm moving my decimal to the left 2 steps. So here's my decimal. I'm going to go once, twice. This is going to be 0.5 or half a meter. So I'm going to go centimeters to millimeters. I think that's just going to be 1 step. So here's a meter, decimeter, centimeter, millimeter. Where am I right now? I'm right here at centimeters. And I'm going this direction 1 step with my decimal. So if the decimal's here, I'm going to move it right to there. So this becomes 63 millimeters. For number 5, I have 8 millimeters, and I'm going to centimeter. Which direction am I going to move my decimal? This way on my chart. So here's milli. Here's centimeter. Decimeter. Finally, here's a meter. Where am I? I'm at milli. So here's milli. And I'm moving my decimal 1 step to centa. I'm moving it this way 1 step. So I'm going to put my decimal right here, 8.0. Now I'm going to move it over to here. So this becomes 0.8. centimeters. Let's look at 5.6 meters. Let's draw our chart. Here's a meter, and I'm going this way to centimeters. So first step is decimeter. Second step is centimeter. And I'm going once, twice this way with my decimal point. So here's 1, 2 steps. I'm going to put a 0 there as a placeholder. 560 centimeters and 5.6 meters. Okay, so I have 120 milligrams, and I want to convert that to grams. So where am I on my chart? Here's a gram. That's where I want to go. Then I have decigram. Then I have centigram. Finally, I have milligram. Where am I starting? I'm starting at milligrams. So I'm going to put a point right there. That's where I'm at. And I want to go to here, to grams. So I'm moving my decimal to the left once, twice, 3 times. So here's my decimal. Once, twice, 3 times. So it's going to become 0.12 grams in 120 milligrams. Okay, some more greater than, less than, or equal to, some more inequalities. So over here I have 63 centimeters, and I know that there's 100 centimeters in a meter. So if I convert this, this would be 600 centimeters, which is clearly more than 63 centimeters. So I'd say 6 meters is greater. Over here, I've got 508 milligrams. I know there's 1,000 milligrams in a gram. So if I convert 5 grams to milligrams, it'd be 5,000 milligrams. So I can see that 5 grams is a lot more than 508 milligrams. So here's 1,500 milliliters. Here's 1.5 liters. So check this out. If there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter, then I would convert 1.5 liters to milliliters by moving the decimal this direction 3 steps. So here's once, twice, 3 times, and I'd put zeros here. What does this become? This becomes equal. 1,500 milliliters is 1.5 liters. Let's look at 536 centimeters to 53.6 decimeters. So let's do our chart here and see if this one's equal. So here's a meter. Here's a decimeter. Here's a centimeter. Okay, so I'm over here at 536 centimeters. Okay. So if I go from decimeter to centimeter, here's decimeter to centimeter, I'd move my decimal 1 step this way to make it into a centimeter. So this is 536 centimeters. This is equal to. Let's look at 43 milligrams to 5 grams. I know there's 1,000 milligrams in a gram. So if I convert this, this would be 5,000 milligrams, which is a lot more than 43 milligrams. So 5 grams is definitely more. Okay, 3.6 meters to 36 centimeters. So I know there's 100 centimeters to a meter. So I'm going to move this decimal 2 spaces. Here's once, twice to put it in centimeters. So this would be the same as 360 centimeters to 36 centimeters. So 3.6 meters is an awful lot more. It's greater than. Okay, let's take a look at centimeters to meters. So again, I know that there are 100 centimeters to a meter. So I'm going to move my decimal from here 2 steps to the left. So this would be the same as 92 meters. Centimeters to meters. Again, if my decimal is right here, I have to move it 2 steps because there's 100 centimeters in a meter. Think 100 has 2 zeros in it. So I'm going to move my decimal once, twice. So this would be 46.2 meters. Centimeters to meters. So again, here's my decimal. Once, twice, this would be 64.26 meters. I'm going to move my decimal once, twice. This would be 21.3 meters. And I want you to take a minute and try 5 through 8 and make sure you're moving that decimal 2 steps. If you have any questions, just ask. Okay, hopefully that was enough time to move that decimal. So this would be 77.18. I'm going to move my decimal 2 steps. So this is 9.76. 2 steps. So this would be 35.8 meters. Or you could add a 0 after that. It doesn't matter. It's still 8/10. I'm going to move my decimal 2 steps. This becomes 58 meters. Okay, let's look at kilograms to grams. So again, a kilogram is the larger unit, okay? So if I have my chart here, here's a gram, here's a decagram, here's a hectogram, finally, here's a kilogram. So if my decimal's here, here's my decimal at gram, I'm going to go to kilogram. That means I'm moving it to the left once, twice, 3 times. So I have to go 1, 2, 3 steps with my decimal. So this would just be 10 kilograms, okay? So if I move my decimal 3 steps to the left, once, twice, 3 times, this would just become 5 grams, okay? Now it flips it around. Now it's kilograms to grams. So now I'd move my decimal this way to the right. My decimal's here once, twice, 3 times. What do I have to put here? I have to put zeros as a placeholder, so this becomes 3,000 grams, okay? Now it's going the other way. Pay attention to which way it's going. So now I want to go this direction once, twice, 3 times to 2 kilograms. Now I'm going 6,000 grams to kilograms. I'm going to move my decimal to the left this way. So here it is, once, twice, 3 times. This just becomes 6, okay? You try your hand at the next 3 questions and just ask, speak up if you need help. Okay, hopefully that was enough time to convert a couple of those. I'm going to move for grams to kilograms. I have to move my decimal this way. So this would be 7 kilograms is in 7,000 grams. Now for 9 kilograms, I'm going to move my decimal this way, 3 steps. This would be 9,000 grams, or 9 kilograms. Here's my decimal. I'm moving it again this direction to the right, 3 steps. This would be 1,000 grams. And let's take a look at a couple more here. Okay, so I have kilograms to grams. Here's my decimal. 3 steps, so this would be 8,000. Kilograms to grams, this would be 4,000. This would be 1,000. 3,000. 7,000. What about this one? Here's my decimal. Now I'm moving it to the left 3 steps. Once, twice, 3 times. So this would just be 6 kilograms. Take a minute and see if you can do 8 through 10 on your own. and just let me know if you have any questions. Okay, hopefully that was enough time for 8 through 10. So I'm at kilograms. So I'm going to move my decimal this way to the right 3 steps. Once, twice, 3 times. This would become 2,000. This one, I'm going to move it to the left 3 steps toward kilogram. So this would become 3 kilograms, or in 3,000 grams. Same thing with this one. 3 steps to the left. So this would become 4 kilograms. Okay. 3 steps, once, twice, 3 times, so this would be 10 kilograms or 10,000 grams. 5,000 grams would just be 5 kilograms. 6 kilograms would be 6,000 grams. So hopefully this helps you just remember that a kilogram is quite a bit larger than a gram, 3 times larger. Okay? Let's look at this example here. This is kilometers to meters. Now remember, a meter, a liter, or a gram is a unit of 1, okay? So kilo means 1,000 times a meter, a liter, or a gram. So here I have kilometers. So I'm still moving my decimal once, twice, 3 times to the right, okay? So I would have to add a 0 as a placeholder there. So this would be 15,250 meters, or in 15.25 kilometers. So in the same sense, 8.6, I'm moving my decimal to the right 3 steps, once, twice, 3 times, and I'm going to have to add some zeros here. So this would be 8,600 meters. So here I have 2.232 kilometers to meters. I'm going to move my decimal 3 steps here. So this is going to become 2,232 meters. Again, 3 steps to the right. Here's my decimal. So this becomes 64,248 meters, are in 64.248 kilometers. See if you can move your decimal for the next 6 questions, 5 through 10. If you need help, let me know. Okay, let's look at those together. So again, I'm going to move my decimal 3 steps for kilometer to meter. I'm moving it to the right. So I'm going to put 430 meters. And here I'm going to move it once, twice, 3 times, and I add zeros as a placeholder here. So this becomes 56,200 meters. So here's my decimal. I have to move it 3 steps. So I'm going to put 3 zeros after that 48. So this becomes 48,000 meters are in 48 kilometers. Here I have 60.366 kilometers. So I'm going to move that decimal 3 spaces, and I'm going to put it right there to convert it to meters. So this is going to become 60,366 meters are in 60.366 kilometers. Okay, same exact thing here. I'm moving it 3 steps. Now the decimal is going to be here. So this becomes 3,291 meters. I'm moving it 3 steps to the right, and I have to add a 0 here as a placeholder. So this would be 88,520 meters, or an 88.52 kilometers. Okay, let's look at some examples where it's kind of mixed up between millimeters and centimeters and whatnot. So here I have centimeters to millimeters. So let's look at our chart. How many steps is it from centa to milli? Here's a meter. Here's a decimeter. Here's centimeter. And then here is millimeter. Okay? So this is getting smaller. So if I'm at 12.7 centimeters, I'm right here. How many steps to the right am I moving my decimal? Just 1 step. Just from centa to milli is 1/10. Okay? So if my decimal's here, I'm going to move it to the right 1 step. This becomes 127 millimeters. Okay, now you're moving it the other way. Okay? So here is milli, and here's centa. So if I'm right here at 54.54 millimeters, now I'm moving it to the left 1 step. So here's my decimal. I'm going to move it here. So I have 5.454 centimeters, or in 54.54 millimeters. So now I'm starting at millimeters. Here's milli, and here's centa. So I'm starting here. I'm moving to the left 1 step with my decimal. So here's my decimal, okay? I'm gonna move it 1 step to the left, so this just becomes 71 centimeters, or in 710 millimeters. So here's centa again, and here's milli. Am I moving it to the left or to the right? Well, I'm here at centimeters. This is where I'm at, so I have to move it to the right 1 step. So here's my decimal. I move it in the direction that I'm moving on my conversion chart. On your conversion chart, if you're moving to the right, then on your answer, you move your decimal to the right. So this would be 942 millimeters. Okay, let's look at centa to milli. This is just like the last one. I'm moving it 1 step this way. This would be 476.8 millimeters, or in 47.68 centimeters. And this one, I'm moving it the other way. Notice I'm going from milli to centa. So again, here's milli, it's really small. Here's centimeters. So I'm starting here at milli. I'm moving 1 step to the left to centimeters. So here's my decimal, I move it 1 step. Now I'm at 65.36 centimeters, or in 653.6 millimeters, okay? Last one, let's look at milliliters and liters. So again, what are your units of 1? A liter is for liquid, gram is for mass, meter is for length. So this is a unit of 1. This is milli. That's really, really small. So on my chart, here's a liter, 1 liter. Here's a deciliter. Here's a centiliter. And here's that milliliter, okay? Really small. So I'm going to go from, here's my decimal. I'm over here at milli. and I have to move this way to reach liter. So I'm going to the left once, twice, 3 steps. So I move it once, twice, 3 steps. So I know there's 10 liters in 10,000 milliliters. Okay. This is just like the last one. Here I am at milli. I'm moving my decimal to the left 3 steps. Once, twice, 3 steps. So 1 liter is in 1,000 milliliters. Same thing. I'm moving once, twice, 3 steps. 3 liters equal 3,000 milliliters. Okay. You try the next 3 on your own. If you have a question, let me know. Okay, hopefully that was enough time to try a few of those. So again, I'm going from milliliter to liter. So here's my decimal. I'm moving it to the left 3 steps. So I'd say there are 7 liters and 7,000 milliliters. I'm going to move my decimal 3 steps from milli to liter. 8 liters and 8,000 milliliters. Now on this one, I'm moving it to the right. So here's a liter. Here's a deciliter, centiliter, milliliter. So I have to go from here once, twice, 3 times. So here's my decimal. I've got to put 3 zeros after that. So this becomes 4,000 milliliters are in 4 liters. Okay. Let's look at a few more here. Okay. So I'm at milliliter and I want to go to liter. Here's my decimal here. I move it once, twice, 3 times until it's right here. Let's say there are 9 liters in 9,000 milliliters. 5 liters is going to be 5,000 milliliters. 6,000 milliliters would just be 6 liters. 2,000 milliliters would just be 2 liters. 9,000 milliliters would equal 9 liters. 7,000 milliliters would simply equal 7 liters. 9,000 milliliters. Here's my decimal. I move it once, twice, 3 times, and it just equals 9 liters. Here's my decimal for 6,000 milliliters. I'm just moving it once, twice, 3 times, and this just equals 6 liters. So I'm really hoping that this lesson gave you a chance just to review the metric system, gave you a chance to remember how to convert from kilometer to meter or centimeter to meter, to help you remember that you're just using multiples of 10. Okay, so every time you move that decimal point in the metric system, you're just moving it by multiples of 10, which kind of makes it easier to convert than our imperial system with feet, yards, and inches. So at this time, I'm going to end this lesson, and hopefully if you need any help with the metric system, you can go back and just review this at any time. Good to see you.